Hey guys, LaMonster here, LaMonster Garage. Got another product I'm going to do an install for. This is our LaMonster FBB. FBB is floorboard bracket. And real easy install, probably maybe the easiest install out of all my brackets. What I like about this bracket, it's real solid. It has the most adjustment. Your legs are out a little wider than the NBVs. But it allows you to get forward more for the long-legged guys. And there's a safety issue I'm going to go over too, that another manufacturer has built something very similar to ours after the fact, but they didn't take into consideration the safety for braking that is engineered part of the floorboards. So we'll show you that too. So anyway, let's go ahead and install this. Piece of cake. This is a 2013. This only works on the stock BRP floorboards. So first thing you're going to want to do is just pop this rubber piece off. Real simple, just grab one end. It's got these little balls in here that pop in here. And here's what you're going to get in your kit. You got your brackets here. This is the right and the left. They are pre-drilled, and you'll have a locating arm. This is the arm for your peg. You're going to have your mounting bolts. We also have a beauty cap that cleans it up. All our brackets have these. They're optional whether you want to use them or not. Just kind of makes it all come together. You got 4 1/4 bolts. You've got 2 short 1/2-inch bolts that are going to be for your pegs, and then your longer ones are going to be for mounting the bracket to here. So, first thing we're going to want to do, you're going to need some sort of clamp, and I like finger clamps myself. It's kind of a welder deal. You can use a C-clamp, you know, your typical C-clamp, anything you want. But the first thing you want to do is go ahead and line this up. So right on the bottom of this here, there's an edge. And you can actually see the edge from the top side. You're going to want to go ahead and line this up. Just put it tight to the edge. And what I like to do is I just slide it all the way forward so the front of the bracket is at the front of this here. And then I go ahead and get a clamp on it. Well, let me do one more thing first. This is the bolt with the cap that's already on it. So go ahead and stick that in before you clamp it. And I'll show you why in a second here. So anyway, you still line it up best you can, hard against that. Clamp it towards the back here. Flush this out. Now what you're going to want to do is just go ahead and pull it out a little bit, just so you have clearance from this fin. And it doesn't take much. So flush it out, make sure it's tight on the back side, and then pull it out just a little bit. So now I know that I've got good clearance. Now I'm using a 90-degree drill with a 1/4-inch bit. If you don't have a 90-degree drill, you can run your front wheels up on car ramps and then use a regular drill. But we'll go ahead and drill our holes and start the install. Alright, and they might have a little powder coat on the brackets. It might not be a bad idea to go ahead and pre-drill these holes first on the bracket. I forgot about that part. So I always just drop the bolt down and then use your lock nut here. And 7/16 wrench. Snug it up. Okay. I'm going to make sure I still have clearance. Now that moved a little bit on me, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it out a little bit. So I still got clearance. Okay, so now snug it down. And I'm going to want to move my clamp so this one doesn't move on me. And drill this one. 90 degrees drills are awesome. My battery's almost dead. Alright. So that one's drilled. I'm going to drop the bolts in, snug it up. I know this one's going to be alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this cap off here. I'm going to need to put a wrench on it. So, go ahead and snug this one up. Nice and snug. Okay, that's all there is to the mounting. Now all we got to do is mount our bracket and our peg. We just pop this back in the holes again. And ours still sits nice and flush. Make sure these little balls stick all the way through. But your pad sits nice and flush. The other guy bracket has got big heads on his, and it actually sits up and rocks. I guess you figured a bigger bolt was better, but it's not necessarily a better setup. Here's your bracket. You're going to go ahead and put that on like so with your nut. And I'm just going to snug this up a little bit because we're going to be moving it around. So the longer bolts go there. Okay, and now this will work with all sorts of different kinds of pegs. This is our gripper peg, very popular peg. It does not, you have to choose what peg you want, but basically that's the peg that we prefer. And give it a little snug it up right there. All right, so a little bit of angle. So basically you're going to want to check everything before you put these caps on, these little beauty caps. I like to get everything in position, you know, sit on the bike, make sure I want it forward, make sure your pegs are at the right angle and all that. So, what I was talking to before, the other guy has got a bracket that comes out here and the peg sits in, which sounds really good, except for it sits right over the top of this fin. And it eliminates being able to drop your board like this. So this is a safety feature that BRP built into the floorboards, knowing that in a panic stop, this will actually go past where the board is. So they've created a breakaway that actually lets the board break away if your pedal goes past the floorboard. If you have a bracket that stops right there, it no longer can do that, and you could very well rear end somebody, not be able to do a panic stop. So that's all there is to it. Super easy install. It's called the FBB. You can find it on shopspiderlovers.com or themonstergarage.com. Take you to the same place. Just click on RT and click on highway brackets, and it'll show the different options that we have. That's it. Thank you.